Oh, hello there. My friend Jay from Lo-Fi Workshop has written a world-building game. It's called Forge of the Cosmos. The game is a fun take on the genre where you and your friends work together to come up with a new city, country, really any society, any place, any scope that you want. But once you've got that framework, each player rolls dice to determine a subject from the new world. Then you would normally spend a few minutes sketching whatever that subject is. Well, this time around, we're going to take our rolls and actually make something from our shared world. During playtesting, we've come up with a few ideas. Places like an underground Victorian society, a miniature Atlantean city in a pond, and my personal favorite, a floating island weird Wild West. This time around, we decided to make a fantasy sci-fi planet with notable features such as long-lived crab folk who have almost forgotten the secrets of magic, and an impoverished lower class who sell their aura to get by, hoping to not become one of the drained. But for my project, I rolled people, current, and large. So I decided that I wanted to make one of my contributions to this shared world, and that's Space Knights. These custodians are typically hired by sponsors, and sometimes even sport their logos on their armor. They work as private security or mercenaries, and they're also known to enter jousting tournaments where they ride on giant chicken-like creatures. Because I've been recently spending a lot of time in museums and looking at medieval and religious artwork, I wanted to make an homage to Saint Michael vanquishing Satan to help me get a composition and a dramatic pose very quickly. With the majority of my work done just using Perry miniature knights, I lightly sculpt up some details with clay to build up the cuirass and make the neckline a little more pronounced. To push it into the realm of science fiction, I'll give them a blaster and sculpt a holster out of more clay just to tie it all in. At this scale, it's a little hard to capture everything that I'm doing, and honestly, I was just having so much fun that I really got stuck into the project. I'm focusing on simple, quick changes to the original miniature. Things like building up the greaves, adding some round details to the left pauldron because for some reason everything sci-fi has got to have these little round nubbins. And finally, using a bit from Giant Killer Robots, our knight has a futuristic looking backpack. The next step is crunching up some baking foil, which we're going to cover in polymer clay to give us a base for our scene before baking it in the oven. With a little off-camera refinement, we can move on to sculpting the creature that our knight is fighting. During world building, we established that there is an old, downed space station on the far side of the planet. It's surrounded by this massive verdant forest, and it's not quite clear if the forest is a result of the space station or if it's existed long before. But there are wanderers who do live in those trees, and I imagine all manner of beasts as well. While we didn't formally create this monster during our world building session, I'm taking some creative license to introduce what I'm calling worms. These amphibians are typically found in large bodies of filthy, stagnant water. They have developed these nose-like protrusions to help them sense nearby prey. Our wandering knight has been sent on a bit of a fetch quest, and while tracking them, managed to sneak up on one of these salamander goblin sharks. With that ready to sit aside and cure, I can now make our knight this massive lance, which is perfect for skewering worms. All that she needs is a helmet before we move on to painting. When it came time to finish up this little scene, I was really inspired by the works of Pascal Blanche and decided to go for a more stylistic approach. I wanted this piece to be unique and to evoke the feeling of being on our strange planet. If you can't tell already, I love world-building games. You get to hang out with your friends, bounce ideas off of each other, and come up with way better settings than you ever could in a vacuum. Forge of the Cosmos is really easy to pick up, it has some unique mechanics to keep the game moving, and it already comes with some optional rules, like playing as a deity in charge of different domains. At its core, the game is about getting your creativity flowing and making something cool with your friends. None of this is sponsored or anything. Jay is a good friend, and I was really excited to playtest this game. So if you aren't already, please go follow him on YouTube, and be sure to download Forge of the Cosmos so you can give it a go and make your own fun and wild universes. So you all know the drill. All my friends participating in this collab have projects and videos that you can check out. And again, be sure to download the game. Everything is linked below. Thank you to Jay and the rest of my art goblins for hanging out and making weird worlds with me. My eternal gratitude, of course, to my coven of patrons who keep this channel going. If you want a behind-the-scenes look at my work, bonus content, and ad-free videos before anyone else, be sure to check out my Patreon. Until next time, I'll see you soon.